Today, my friends, I'm here to teach you guys how you guys can use the Pekka Smash at Town Hall 11. This attack strategy works really well with both the Stone Slammer and the Siege Barrack, but we're going to be mainly looking at the Siege Barrack within this video to hopefully give you guys an understanding of the Pekka Smash. So, Pekka Smash is a very strong attack strategy to learn here at Town Hall 11. Of course, like with anything, Pekka Smash is one of the strongest attacks with the Siege Barrack, like you see right here. Siege Barrack, very strong siege machine. Now, I know you may not all have access to it. This is really weird that you have to sort of play this by ear. So, when you are considering it, most of you should have a clan member or clan members that have at least the Stone Slammer. If not, then this strategy is not going to work without it. So what you've got to make sure that you're doing is make sure that you are really, sort of recruiting clan members, Town Hall 13s, that have access to the Siege Barrack and to the rest of those. Make sure that you're looking for them. Don't look for rush players. Look for max players. Don't just look for rushed players who are just a Town Hall 13 because of that. So you want to make sure that you are still recruiting. So jump on Discord and start recruiting there. But main thing here is you want to have either the Siege Barrack or the Stone Slammer. Now, the Siege Barrack's job is going to be to create the funnel. So I want to kind of go by step in order to teach you guys this. So, first things first, let's look at jump value. Jump value is going to primarily be something like this. Notice that we're able to get into an area where we have this long compartment here. So the main idea is that if we can jump into here, we can jump over the CC and easily go through like that. Very simple, like that, just like that. So we're going in this direction here. We're going to send in a few Pekkas here in order to create the funnel. We'll also send the king in and the Siege Barrack. So of course, like I said, the Siege Barrack's job is in order to make sure that a lot of the base design is, well, funneled out, so that then the Pekkas and the bowlers, they don't move onto the outside. Instead, they stay on the inside and start moving in with the rest of the attack. That's the primary job for it. But other than that, it's still very simple. You've got a heal and or you're going to be using a jump in there or something like that. You could even have a few other things, but the heal is going to be primarily used with the hogs. Now, if you choose not to use that, then that's completely fine. You can still do this by, using the heal with your Pekkas and your bowlers. Still very justified. So make sure that what you're doing, though, is the step one is going to be creating the funnel on either side. Once you've been able to create that funnel in, that way you can start sending everything into the base. Then you want to use your rage spells to rage up the Pekkas and bowlers. Use your Grand Warden's ability over things. Like, really, you want to protect everything. So everything that's moving in, you want to use your Grand Warden's ability maybe around the beginning to mid of the base. That way you're still going to be able to get value from it. But other than that, you're driving into the base. You got your hogs from your Siege Barrack a little bit later on. That can get you some really good value, and they'll be able to offer you the ability to still control the pathing, but also make sure that what you're doing with that is you're going to be able to also get defenses down that are over the wall that are a little bit tougher for the Pekkas, and maybe you might not have any bowlers, but some of those bowlers to get as well. So that can still really help. So like you see here, we're creating the funnel on both sides of the base. We're starting off right here with the Pekka here. Then we'll have the Siege Barrack controlling this side of the funnel here as we send more things in this direction. This way, what this allows us to do is send in our Pekkas and our bowlers. Notice that we're being very hesitant. We're making sure that they stay on the inside. So most of them will move on over to the king. That then they will stay right on the inside of the base and keep moving. We want to make sure that we're bringing a poison spell for them so that then, or for this, to deal with the CC, in order to make sure that we're getting through it. You'll see the Grand Warden's ability, so we pop it right there in order to protect the bowlers and the Pekkas as we work through the base. That's the reason why we're using the Grand Warden's Eternal Tome. But then you can see that the hogs are coming in as well, and primarily their job is going to be to deal with these outside defenses like you'll see right here. So that's what we're trying to do with this. Healing up either the Pekkas and bowlers and or the hogs This can really give us a lot of good value, and that's really why the hogs and the siege barrack are really good. You don't really need a stone slammer with this attack, but if you want a siege barrack or a stone slammer, then feel free. But just remember that if you're bringing in the stone slammer, you're bringing in a haste. You're not bringing in hogs in there, you are bringing in loons. That means you will need a haste spell. So just keep that in mind if you decide on whether or not you want to use the stone slammer with loons or the siege barrack with hogs. That way it just gives you guys a little bit of a variation when you guys want to try out this attack. But let's go ahead and move on to a couple more examples that we have here for you guys using this attack. So here we go, guys. We've got another example, and one of the biggest things to sort of keep note of is that we want to make sure that, again, we're creating the funnel on either side. This way, what we're going to be able to do is create a funnel here using a baby dragon or something like that, and the siege barrack. This way, this gives us a lot of really good value here. But then once we've created the funnel there, we can start to send everything in the direction that we want our attack to go. So you'll see that we want to be very patient. We want to try and get as much value as possible. So as we send everything in, we want to make sure that we're even cutting the funnel down here as well. So you'll see just, the king down there as well. But working through the base here, we want to make sure that we're cutting it down so that then what happens is our Pekkas and our bowlers move into the base. Still dealing with the damage CC is not going to be an issue as we're sending everything and we're driving all of our units into the base here. Double jumping into the first compartment and then jumping into the CC, or even allowing them to sort of take out the wall and then move on. That's going to be really important. But you'll see here is that, well, bowlers got taken out very heavily. And you'll also notice that we don't even have any hogs. So, of course, what happened is, well, the multi-inferno did a lot of work and we didn't really use our jump spell early enough. If we did, we would have still gotten a lot of good value. So you'll notice that I think what the attacker wanted the attack to do, you'll see even a desperation heal on top of the queen in order to keep her alive and stuff like that. We want to make sure though that with this attack, and this just shows you guys a good example of a sort of a failed attack, almost failed attack, did save it still, but when you are trying to use an attack strategy like this, you got to make sure that you are placing in your jump spells really, really quickly. So then you're still keeping everything alive. Grand Warden should be popping it in order to protect everything as they move in. He might have forgotten that. I don't think he did. But definitely there's just a couple things that you could tweak on base designs here in order to make sure that they become a little bit more successful, just like the first example. But other than that, it gives you guys a very solid explanation of just seeing exactly how you guys can attack with this attack and making sure that you see, what are the possible things. What if the bowlers all die out? And this is a really good example of that. So let's go and take a look at a couple more examples with this attack. So here's something a little bit different that you may notice, and you'll also notice here a Warden walk. If you guys have seen my previous video on Pekka Smash, I did show you guys one with the Warden walk. So here's another one. But here's the thing with this attack, is that you'll notice that we're not just bringing in the Warden walk, but we're also bringing in the wall breakers and a double jump. So we're bringing in something that is really going to be very interesting with this attack. So what that means is with the Grand Warden, we are creating the funnel. That is the primary purpose of this. Then what we want to make sure that we're doing is we are creating the funnel just so that then we can enter into the area. You'll see the wall breakers go down in order to open this area up. This allows us to save using a jump spell there. What that also allows us to do is use our rage spells to get everything right up through the base, and you'll see that the jump spell gets right over into the CC compartment. Now what this allows us to do is still control their pathing. You'll notice that we even have a stone slammer here, and we'll kind of explain why we also have that as well. We are trying to use that on the opposite side of the base. Very different than the siege barracks. We want to make sure that we are using that on the back end instead of using it on the forefront like you saw with the previous examples, making sure that we're creating a funnel with them. Here we're not doing that. We're creating a funnel with the Pekkas, the Queen, possibly Grand Warden, and once we've done so, we can start sending everything else as they go through the base. So primarily, you can see with the siege or with the stone slammer, making sure that we're getting value from it is extremely important. You'll notice that it didn't pop yet. However, if it does, you still have a rage spell or a haste for them. So that's really where this is going to sort of shine a lot. That's why I think the siege barrack and the stone slammer are definitely still very good options. You'll notice here actually that there wasn't any loons. Instead, there was actually a Pekka and a baby dragon. So, of course, you can even try that as well, but sometimes it may be better to bring loons, other times it may not. But very, very simple attack strategy, though, and another great example of using something such as the Stone Slammer without a loon, like I said. But other than that, let's take a look at a couple more examples. So here we go, guys. We've got one last example using the Pekka Smash with the Siege Barracks and the Quadquake Jump combination. So you'll notice, again, we have another Warden Walk. And of course, with this, we're making sure that the Warden Walk, though, is creating the funnel. Then we have the Electro Dragon here on the opposite side of the base to get some sort of value. Now, of course, with this being said, we are using it primarily to use as a funnel. That's the main reason to why we're doing so. The Quadquake that you'll see right here opens us up a lot more in the base, which means we just have to use one jump here. We're into the base. Very, very simple. Making sure, though, that we are creating the funnel here and also creating a funnel down this direction and just a little bit here in order to send our Pekkas in and our bowlers as they move into the base. That's really what we want to make sure that we're doing with this attack, and that's why we're using the Electro Dragon in order to get that value. So as we're sending everything in, we have a perfect jump, and the Siege Barrack, instead of being placed to create the funnel, it'll spawn in that Pekka. That'll help us a lot as we go through the base. Poison dropped in order to deal with the enemy CC. So as we're moving in through the base here, we want to make sure that what we're doing is we are using our rage spells and we are making sure that we are getting through the base. Now, we will still have our hogs on the back end of the base. However, we don't have a heal for them, meaning that what we're looking for here is as much value from the base as possible. That way, we're going to be able to still get a lot of good value from the rest of the base. But other than that, it's still a very simple attack strategy. It's all it is making sure that you're looking for the double jump value. You saw one with wall breakers as well. You're looking for double jump or Quadquake value. And then you want to make sure that you're either going to bring a heal for your hogs or something along those lines. But other than that, it's still very simple. But I would say this is definitely a strategy that you guys should really start to learn at Town Hall 11. Just like with all the other attacks I've done, we did a full week of Town Hall 11 content, so hopefully you guys did enjoy that, and also seeing me here on screen. Let me know if you guys want to see more of it, and I will definitely bring this more of this out to you guys. But with that being said, that is going to do it, guys, for the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, why not leave a like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you guys don't miss anything. And feel free to go ahead and join my community Discord, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram, and also either follow/subscribe to me on Twitch in the description below. We're trying to build that up. Streams will return in May, or around May. But with that also being said, feel free to also go ahead and join any of the clans I'm covering. And with that being said, guys, that's going to do it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll be seeing you guys next time. Corrupt, signing out.